Next up is business from the City Council. City Council reports. Councilmember Buckland.
On the 10th of this month, I attended the SACOG Government Relations and Public Affairs Committee meeting, and a number of issues are taken up. And it saddens me a little bit to see part of the group that was here have left because the comments are more directed toward those individuals and an invitation that they should come down every time that sustainability and that word is used. I always hear the kind of this outreach onto SACOG, and I would really encourage individuals to come down and attend the meetings. They're all open to the public. It's an easy location to get in and out of, right next to the state capitol. And I would tell you that through all of the discussions that I hear, on a large part, all of the directors that are involved, whether it be in committee or on the board of directors, we do truly meet. We have a Caltrans representative. Typically, it's Ms. Jones that's there, or another representative. But the conversations are in depth. These are well discussed items, each and every one of them, and I have never, through my entire time down there, have ever heard anyone talk about free money or anything else. We try to be good stewards of the money that comes in and is collected in our region to be used for the regional good, and certainly be competitive when that money should come to in our direction for improving our roadways and utilizing it for a better lifestyle here, because it is taxpayer money. That's how it works. That's the funding source for Yuba Sutter Transportation. That is the funding source for many of the extra projects that come in, whether it be overpasses, whether it be the widening of a portion of the widening of Highway 99 in the past, and trying to address the fatalities that were occurring along that corridor. So with that, I would invite anyone that has that time to do it. Also had the opportunity to attend the swearing in of Mr. Lincoln Eden as a commander of the Yuba City Police Department, also attended by, I think, almost everyone from the council. Great opportunity for this city to have a great representative in the police department move up in that organization. And I have no idea what I wrote as the last item, because it was a scribble. But I'll leave it at that.
Councilmember Mon.
I'd like to just continue that thought. I just want to continue the thought of Councilwoman Buckland. I know we talk about Agenda 21 and some of the terms that are used there, that some of the terms that we used before anybody heard of Agenda 21, sustainable communities, and some of it's the same English words that get used by different groups. That doesn't mean that we're somehow Agenda 21 agents. I know I'm not. I have nothing to do with Agenda 21. We get so much of our. You look at our agenda any week, and you'll see so much of the work in our community is funded through grants. I take it. Not all grants are perfect. Neither are we. We make mistakes. I personally think I didn't think much of that roundabout guy last year that you could say wasted taxpayers' money, even though sometimes we say, hey, it's grant money, it's not Yuba City money. I look at it as all money is our money. We're all taxpayers, as was said by another gentleman here. We all pay taxes. We want to use those resources wisely. The way our government is set up, it takes locally, and then where it sees the need, whether it's widening, highway or providing infrastructure for levees and water projects. Our guy in the sewer treatment plant has been writing so many grants, keeping our rates down. our citizens, like in Wilder State, are going to get a safe water instead of arsenic water, and they're not going to have to pay anything because we're getting grant for it. We're going to have a bridge in our community that would never get built. People laugh when we talk about Third Bridge. It's because of SACOG's funding that helped us. We're going to April Lane, not April Lane, the school on King Avenue. The kid's going to have a safe lane to bike and walk to school. That's a safe to school grant. So there's a lot of this money that it comes our way, and we take it, and we encourage our staff to continue to write grants and get more money. Once in a while, you know, we're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect. We're human beings. But this is our community. This is where we raise our kids. I've been to that AM/PM. I'm not going back there. You know, because it's just terrible the way that was built. You know, maybe maybe they needed to go somewhere else and leave it leave it as it was. But it got worse. It used to be okay before. Well, we didn't have the master plan, so you'll have an individual approving the plan. It's not us approving the plan. If we, as a community, came together and drew up a plan, at least we would all have our thoughts. It would be a well-thought-out plan, as Darren is saying. But if it's somebody at the counter, you know, maybe we're putting too much responsibility on that person.
Planning commission? Common sense.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to have my commentary to that. We got a Housing Authority meeting tomorrow with, and then day after tomorrow we got the Yuba Center Transit meeting. And that's all I have.
Councilmember Starkey.
I have nothing to report. I have not a bunch to report. Last week and a half have been pretty trying. My office manager's husband passed away suddenly, and so it's been quite a week and a half. And he'd done a lot for the community. He was the president of the Lions Club. So if we could adjourn the meeting when we get to that point in his honor, Darrell Stevens, would be nice.
Absolutely. Sorry to hear that. Again, did also attend the pinning of Commander Lincoln Eden, which is kind of nice. I've known Lincoln for a long time. Went to kind of school with him, so it's kind of nice to have a local person here get promoted up into the ranks. Also had a meeting with the Sutter Butte Flood Agency. The bids are out, which is kind of nice. The last go-around, we did 1 mile repairs, which the bid was awarded to Nordic, which was local. And they had 3 sections of the levees that they got done. Now we're packaging it as into one large bid. We're hoping by doing this we can bring the cost even down for the taxpayers. And it's about $70 million, which is to be awarded. And those bid packages get opened up, I believe, within the first week of March, and we'll know exactly who's going to get that project. And that always brings in a lot of local people because they hired a lot of local staff here. And I've always encouraged, if you've never taken a tour when they're fixing that levee, I truly, truly encourage each and every one of you to go do it, because I always thought how difficult it is that you cut a hole in the levee and you fill it up with cement and off you go, it's done. No, they don't do that at all. It's not cement. It's type of a clay, so that if it shifts, that way the cement, if it doesn't crack, and it's precise. They test it when it's coming in. They test it when it's going out, and they have a whole mixture on how they mix it. And it's amazing piece of art the way that they do that. And I would encourage each and every one of you guys to go out and do that. In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting tonight in the memory of the California Highway Patrol officers who lost their lives in Fresno, Officer Juan Gonzalez and Officer Brian Law, and also in the honor of Darrell Stevens. So with that, the meeting is adjourned.